Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 8 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Now, as always, before we get on to this week, let's have a look at how well we got on in week 7.
So last week, I think I actually had the best week that any person has had on the channel. I had a whopping 16 points with 4 perfect results. First one being Chelsea to beat Brighton 2-0. Wolves to beat Watford 2-0, Man City to beat Everton 3-1, and Man United to draw 1-1 with Arsenal as well, so 16 points there.
Yeah, very well done, excellent score there, Nathan. Myself, I had 11 points, however I had 9 correct fixture results out of 10, and just the one perfect score, which was the Manchester United draw at home against Arsenal. Representing the viewers this week was Harry Doherty, and he came away with a decent score as well, having 2 points with 2 perfect scores, that being the Bournemouth draw against West Ham and the Manchester United draw with Arsenal. Highest scores of the week, joining you on 16 points though, Nathan, was Robert Cech, also with 16 points, and Matthew Medley. So Matthew and Rob, congratulations to both of you. So overall now, Nathan, for the season you're on 54 points, I'm on 56 points and the viewers are on 48 points. So it's all hotting up now.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you playing in the Fantasy Football League, I'm going to leave the top 10 to the end of the video and also the top scorer as well. So check that out. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it and predict some scores.
Okay, so first up we have the midday kickoff between Brighton and Tottenham. Now Brighton lost last time around to Chelsea 2-0. They're really starting to drop off their form a bit. Haven't won in 6. And, well, in that case, haven't won since the first day of the season. Whereas Tottenham, in 6th position, hot and cold form. Doing fairly okay, but not overwhelming at the moment. But I can just see this one being a standard Tottenham win. I think it'll be 2-0 to the Spurs.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a straightforward win for Spurs.
Oh, really?
I think it's going to be very tight. But Brighton at home, fairly decent. Okay, they're not picking up wins at the moment, but I think they're going to make life uncomfortable for Spurs, especially with Tottenham in Champions League action midweek. Yeah, Brighton can't buy a win at the moment. It's going to be tough for Tottenham because their form away from home isn't that brilliant, but I can see them narrowly scraping a 1-0 victory. Next up, we got the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday, which is Burnley against Everton. Burnley last weekend gaining a 2-2 draw against Aston Villa. Everton going down eventually, although they did put up a good fight against Manchester City, losing 3-1. In this one, I think Burnley going to have the upper hand. It's going to be another tight affair. I think Everton will take a little bit of confidence, even though they did suffer that defeat against the Citizens. But I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 victory to Burnley in this one.
Yeah, I've gone for a Burnley win as well. However, I think it's going to be 0-0 most of the game, and then probably Ashley Barnes, who, well, he hasn't been scoring much, but Chris Wood mainly.
He's stepping up to the plate now.
He is stepping up to the plate. I think he'll knock one in like the 94th minute or something ridiculous, and I think it'll be a 1-0 home victory to Burnley at Turf Moor. So
okay.
Anyway, next up we have Liverpool versus Leicester. Now, Leicester, 3rd position, doing really well, and so Liverpool won all 7 of their matches. This is a tricky one to predict, but it's Liverpool at Anfield. Salah, Mane, Firmino front 3, of course. Leicester still doing well. Vardy's starting to score loads of goals now, and the team's just gelling really. Especially gelling in Leicester really. But I can only see Liverpool winning this one. I think it's going to be a narrow 2-1.
Yeah, last weekend Sheffield United really should have got something out of that game against Liverpool. It was a howler from the Sheffield United keeper where it let it slip under his body. They had chances as well. Liverpool, okay, they're grinding out these wins. Sign of a good team that they are getting these wins. Old cliche as normal, where if you're not playing well and picking up the points, then that looks good for the championship and everything. But championship being the league title. But Leicester destroying Newcastle last week and that was without Maddison as well. Pereira looks fantastic. But in this one, I think that Leicester can go to Anfield and make a really good account for themselves. And I'm going to go for a draw in this one.
Oh, really?
I'm going to go for 1-1. And I could even see Leicester winning this one. But I'm going to sit on the fence slightly, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Norwich at home against Aston Villa. Fellow team to come up from the Championship last season. Aston Villa 2-2 against Burnley last weekend. Really, they could have taken all 3 points in that one. Norwich, after that win against Manchester City, suffering 2 defeats. They are strong at home. It's going to be an exciting match, this one, wide open. But I think it's going to end all square, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I can only see this one being a stalemate, really. Aston Villa, I just think that the team is sort of struggling to gel and while the remaining players are struggling to step up to the plate of the Premier League. And, of course, Dean Smith, first ever season in with him managing the Premier League as well. And they just need time. They need time, really, especially to build on that. And Norwich starting to drop off now, really showing what most people expected from them at the start of the season with their weak squad depth and you could say lack of quality, but leaky defence as well, especially. But anyway, I also think it'll be a stalemate, and I think it's going to be 1-1. Next up, we have the dreadful Watford playing against Sheffield United in the last 3 o'clock game of the weekend. Now, Watford, minus 16 goal difference, no wins this season, even with 7 matches gone already, so they have been absolutely horrific so far.
And last weekend, of course, they lost to Wolves, and Wolves gained their first victory of the season as well.
They haven't won, and Wolves are now up to 13th, of course, but Sheffield United doing well, very unlucky to lose to Liverpool. If Dean Henderson would have kept that ball out, then maybe they would have drawn, but I imagine that Liverpool would have still pressed on and probably got one in the end. But anyway, this is a tricky one to predict because Watford may turn up, even though it doesn't look like it at the moment, with the squad being so unsettled. And Quique Sanchez-Flores just doesn't have control, it seems, of the team at the moment. But Sheffield United have good away form, so I think it'll be a narrow 1-0 victory to the Blades.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a narrow victory to the Blades as well. Watford, I think they're going to be targeting this one to get all 3 points. They really need the points to get out from that relegation zone, even though they've only played 7 matches so far. But I don't think they will. Sheffield United, surprising a lot of people at the moment. Putting on a good show for their fans, good account of themselves, and I think they're going to come away with a victory here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Sheffield United. Next up, we've got the 5:30 kickoff between West Ham against Crystal Palace. West Ham playing really well. Yep. Last weekend, they went away to Bournemouth, carved out that 2-2 draw when I think maybe they could have won that one, but they find themselves in 5th position at the moment. Probably a lot of Hammers fans should be happy with their position at the moment. Going up against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace themselves last week had a creditable 2-0 victory over the Canaries. In this one, I think it's going to be another tight match, but I think the West Ham's prowess going forward, Yarmolenko at the moment is looking really good, and I think they're going to sneak this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Hammers.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same as you. I just think West Ham are going to be way too dominant for Palace in this one. Yeah, and I think now, because West Ham haven't actually lost in the last 6 matches, they've either won or drawn them, haven't lost at all. And I think that's going to continue for a while as well, if you look at their recent form, which has been amazing. And I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory to the Hammers in this one.
Same as me, but they will have to, take care of Wilfred Zaha, who is actually putting on a bit of a show, coming into a bit of form as well.
He is, and Haller is looking fantastic for West Ham if you add that in as well. But anyway, next up we have the 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday between Arsenal and Bournemouth. Now Arsenal getting that 1-1 victory against Man United.
1-1 victory?
1-1 draw, I should say, against Man United. Well, it should have really been a victory to Arsenal, but yeah, the Old Trafford curse strikes again. They were a team who can't defend versus a team who can't attack, and it was very lucky that they. Some people could say that it was very lucky that they didn't lose that one. But looking at Bournemouth, 8th in the table, doing relatively okay. I thought a 2-2 draw against West Ham was a very good result for them, but Arsenal at home with their front three, even though Pepe has been absolutely atrocious, starting off this season. Yeah, I can see Arsenal winning this one 2-1 with probably 2 Aubameyang goals, I can see.
Yeah, I think he's missing his strike partner a little bit up there, Lacazette. In this one, Bournemouth, I can see them going to Arsenal getting a draw. However, it is at the Emirates, so there's going to be plenty of goals. Bournemouth let a lot of goals in, so do Arsenal. Arsenal at home, going forward. They were up against that stern defence of Manchester United, probably their only good thing really at the moment. That's the Red Devils, but I think Arsenal are going to win this one. I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to the Gunners.
Interesting fact about Bournemouth, actually. They are the only team currently in the Premier League who have not kept a clean sheet and have scored in all their matches. So
really? Okay, interesting.
That's an interesting fact for you there.
Excellent. Okay, next up we've another 2 o'clock kick-off on Sunday because of the Champions League action. This midweek we've got Manchester City against Wolves. Wolves gaining their first victory of the season, which we touched on a little bit earlier. Manchester City steamrolling most of the teams that they've come up against, rotating their squad. They can bring in players. They're in action on Tuesday evening. This evening we're recording this video one day early this week. I think they're going to steamroll Wolves this time, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory to the Citizens. Last season it was different, whereas Wolves were putting up a lot better fights against the top 6. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory to Manchester City in this fixture.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same as you. I think Man City, with their dominance, will be too strong, and Pep's going to want them fired up, especially for the Champions League game. He's going to want them definitely warmed up, and I can only see this one being a 3-0 victory. And Wolves' struggles will continue, unfortunately, but I can see them pushing it on from next week when they don't have to play either Man City or Liverpool, which is good for them.
And they won't be playing at all because it would be international break.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, next up we have Southampton versus Chelsea. Now, Southampton losing last time around to Spurs. I thought they played very well, but just couldn't get that victory over the line. And Chelsea getting that solid 2-0 victory against Brighton at home, but then again, Brighton haven't been playing too well recently. Chelsea away, they are in Champions League action this week as well, but Southampton can very well win this. It could very well be a draw, but I can just see Chelsea nicking it at the last minute. Hopefully Tammy Abraham will actually score one for my fantasy team, and I can see it being 2-1 to Chelsea.
Yeah, this one, bit of a tricky fixture, but Southampton, they're not impressing me at the moment, really, the way they're playing. Chelsea doing a lot better than expected. They do find themselves in 7th position. I think themselves, they thought they'd be a bit higher than this, but Frank Lampard's doing an okay job there, I'd say. Last weekend, of course, they came away with that 2-0 home victory over Brighton. Brighton very similar to Southampton. So I'm going to go for an away victory in this one, and I can see the Blues winning this one 2-1. The final fixture of the weekend sees Newcastle at home against Manchester United. Newcastle going to have to do something awful last week, losing 5-0 at home against Leicester.
In general, I think.
Coming up against Manchester United, who last night I thought they were kind of okay going forward against Arsenal. Defensive-wise, they were okay as well. So, I don't know, Newcastle are going to have to do something. They're going to have to go back to the way they were playing last year under Benitez, where they weren't conceding. They're really going to have to shore up their defence. Go back to basics, get a solid foundation. Can they do it against Manchester United? I don't know, but Manchester United's away form is terrible at the moment, so I can't see Man United winning away from home at the moment. So
no, I can't either.
I'm just going to go for a 0-0 draw. I just think they're going to cancel each other out. 0-0 draw. Terrible match, this one.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a draw as well, but I actually think there's going to be some goals in this one. Maybe Almiron might score his first goal for the club, since he actually hasn't scored for Newcastle yet, one of their record signings. Whereas Man United are just a team who can't attack. They look solid at the back, but just a shambles everywhere else. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is just...
Or Schmeichel. Who called him Schmeichel?
Yeah, Schmeichel. Let's call him Schmeichel.
No, who called him Schmeichel?
What?
Who called him Schmeichel?
Football Tunes.
Did they now?
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I know it from anyway. But I just can't. He's not cut out for the Premier League, and he can't even do it in the Championship either, which It's saying
it is a
something.
rebuilding process. You have to give them time.
Yeah.
You've got to give them a couple of windows, like we've already said all
Yes, you
along.
do,
but yeah, don't be too downhearted, Manchester United fans.
Just be patient, wait a few years. If you finish 10th or higher, then that's a good season for you. That's all I can say. And yeah, I just think it'll be a 1-1 draw for you guys.
Okay, that concludes our predictions for Week 8 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. And as usual, if you copy and paste your predictions into your comments, and like Rob Check and Matthew Medley, you could get a shout out in the next video if you're the highest scorer. And as always, I'm going to be picking a person at random, which I'll probably announce again on Friday evening, who's going to be representing the viewers that goes head to head against yourself, Nathan, and me. And yeah, we'll find out how well they get on in the next video. But before we go, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, so to my channel, link in description below.
And we're recording this on Tuesday evening, a day earlier than we normally do. We're going to be going to the Cardiff City against QPR. That's going to be a tough match for the Bluebirds.
Very difficult.
And you're going to be vlogging this week.
Yes, I will indeed. That video, I imagine, will be out Thursday night, but if I can't get it edited on Thursday, then it might have to come out on Friday night. So
excellent.
Keep your sub boxes on for that, guys.
Brilliant. And will you be streaming this weekend?
I will try and stream the West Brom away game, but unfortunately I couldn't do it last week with the whole match, so it's going to be a bit of hit and miss there. So keep your sub boxes on, guys.
Brilliant. Okay, as always then, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the football over the weekend. Internationals next week. We may do an international predictions. We'll see how it goes. We might pick out 5 or 6 fixtures in that one. But for now, we'll bid you farewell and we'll see you
in the next video.
Cheers guys.